Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Gina Ravello and today I'm working on day 7 of 365 somethings 2022. This is by Daisy Yellow Art and Hannah Anderson. You can check them out on Instagram. I linked their page in my description. So the idea of this is to create every day for 365 days. Is this possible? Yes, it is. It's just creating small things. It doesn't have to be anything big and glamorous, So, for this challenge that I decided to take up this year, so far my goal is to create something simple and something within 5 minutes. For me, I realized that's the only way I could really complete this, otherwise I'll feel very overwhelmed. So I've also decided to use book pages in this challenge. That could change as the year goes along. And I've also decided to experiment with tools and supplies that I don't normally use. So yeah, that's about it. The thing with this challenge, based on the page, the 300 Daisy Yellow Art page, is that you could skip days. It's not hard and fast where, oh my gosh, if I skip a day, what's gonna happen? It's not like that. So you could give yourself grace. Things happen. If you miss a day, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're behind or anything. So I like that. I printed out their what they had to say about it so that I could keep myself feeling calm about it and not get overwhelmed, because things happen in life and God alone knows what happens in our future. So it's so that I won't get frustrated or bored even, or even run out of ideas. It's just about really keeping it simple and just trying out stuff and keeping the creativity flowing and, growing. Right. So yeah. So that's about it. I'm going to leave you for the rest of the video so that you can observe the process of this challenge. Oh, also for this challenge, I decided to join. So this is 2 challenges in one. I've also decided to do something called Face-tastic Friday, which is by Kicking the Creators on Instagram. So their challenge is they will send you a face every Friday and you have to draw or paint this in your style and post it by the next Wednesday. So they have more details about it on their page, so you can check it out. I've also linked their page in the description below. So this is the face, and I'm just cutting her down to try and get her to fit on my page by not taking up the whole page. And I'm also cutting out the area around her, because all I want is her, not the space around her. So I decided to do an image transfer, which I haven't done in a very long time. And I'm very scared, very intimidated, but I said I'm going to try this. And because I've been wanting to do more of it actually, and I always keep talking myself out of it. So this was a good opportunity for me to do it, because I really didn't want to. I draw very slowly, and my drawings don't always come out the best. And because I can't draw faces well, I draw extremely slowly. So I didn't have much time, and I said I wanted to try this, and that's what I'm doing now. So I use regular school glue, and I'm pasting her face down on the page because I want the image to stay on the page. So I have to dry it really well. Usually you're supposed to leave it to air dry, but as I said, time is of the essence. So I'm just leaving this I dried it, and now I'm just putting some water on the tips of my fingers and gently rubbing away the surface paper, the paper on the top, so that all that would remain would be the image. That's the plan. And this takes some time, but when you first start to see that the image below, it feels like, oh, and I get excited and I smile, and it's so good. It's so good. However, while rubbing, I rubbed too much in some areas, and some of the ink from the image came off. But because it wasn't meant to be a perfect image, I was okay with that. She's old and weathered, and time kind of does its damage to the physical body. So I was really okay with it, and I didn't try to fill it in, or I wasn't upset. So I used the Stabilo oil pencil to put a line of black around her on one side. Honestly, it was to help her stand out, because she kind of disappeared into the page. I was barely seeing her. And I didn't realize that part of her cheek kind of disappeared during this process, because she's supposed to have more cheek. Her face got pretty altered, but I mean, she's still there. So I decided to do some splatters. I love me some splatters these days, and this bunch was way too much. So I just took it up and I just continued adding some smaller ones. I just thought it would help add something more. The little details, it's the little details. So now I'm trying to decide how it looks, how she looks, and I realized her face kind of disappeared into the page. So with a little fear, I decided to help her facial features stand out a bit more. I'm using a watercolor pencil, and I'm just trying to give, add some details to her face so that we could actually see her. So I used a reference photo, and I tried to not spoil her face, because that was my fear. My fear was I would add in some marks and spoil her face. But I mean, she looked different from the picture, but I'm still happy that I didn't spoil her face. So now I'm just activating the watercolor pencil with water, regular water, and trying to highlight those areas, make it stand out by adding the water. She kind of looks younger, but that's okay. So now this is the word I chose to use on my page. I saw it when I was searching through my folder, and it just hit me, and I said, yes, this is it. So I decided to use what was at hand, which is grease paper, and I just traced out the word. I didn't try to make it smaller or different in any way. I traced out the word, and I said I would cut it out and stick it down and see how it looks. I know if I used a napkin, it would have really disappeared onto the page and it would have given me what I wanted. But because this was closer, I decided to still try it and, you know, work it out. So as I'm sticking this down, I realized that the ink is kind of running. It's being brushed away. At first I was like, ah! But then as I kept doing it, I kind of like those brush lines to the left. So I just stuck it down and I found that they would kind of disappeared. So I'm just retracing it. And I also don't really like how I can see the white, the entire white of the paper. So I decided I'll try and fix that after somehow. I realized that you could see the outline of the paper, which I did not like at all. So I decided to just bring in some of the same color that I used on the page, and I added a little border, so to speak, around it, trying to blend it into the page and make the edge of it disappear. Which I actually like. I actually like how it came out. I was happily surprised. So I just spent some time working on my border and I decided to use the watercolor pencil to try and get rid of that white paper, the look of the white paper around the word as well. I really did not like how that looked. So I'm just going to spend some time working on that. And that is pretty much it. And I really love how this turned out. And thank you so much for watching. I look forward to your comments and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!